Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back. And man, oh man, something, or should I say, a couple very interesting things have been happening in the last couple of days. Number one, I started playing Black Ops 3 again. I'm going to get into a little bit more in depth in that in a minute. And number two, I just happened to find this article over at Charlie Intel. Now I'm gonna leave a link down in the description below so that way you guys can read it. It's not that long, but I don't want to spend half of the video or a big part of the video reading it to you guys. But I'm gonna read you a tad little bit so you guys can get the gist of it. So the state of Hawaii says it's investigating EA over Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot boxes. Says it's a Star Wars themed online casino. Now, I read the entire article, and like I said, it's not that big, but the more I read that article, the more it sounded so familiar to me. Doesn't this sound kind of familiar to you guys? Doesn't this sound like Call of Duty supply drops, or at least close to it? I mean, you know, feel free to correct me and explain the difference to me, because I quite don't see it. You know, and a lot of times I just wish somebody would do something about the Call of Duty supply drops or anything. Not that I don't want, you know, companies to succeed or anything, but it just seems like it just seems like there's just something off about it. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to go into detail because my channel is not so much about hate and negativity. I mean, sure, like yesterday's video, and thank you, by the way, for the responses on that video, by the way. But one thing I wanted to talk about was also, again, this just goes so well with me playing Black Ops 3 again, especially since, you know, some of you guys would really like to watch gameplay of that game, which I definitely don't blame you, because at its core it is a great game. But here's I want to talk about why I really just dislike supply drop weapons or post cycle game weapons. You know, after the, like, for instance, it doesn't take much for a noob just to absolutely melt me with the XMC, which is the Black Ops 3's versions of the MSMC. And it absolutely pretty much trumps the base weapons that came with the game. And apparently, and I didn't know this, and as soon as I started playing Black Ops 3 yesterday for a little bit, I noticed that there was another triple play contract. So slowly but surely, I'm going to be working towards eliminating that, 100 victories, so that way I could finally get a decent weapon, because all the other weapons I have, I don't want. So, and I just get put in lobbies where there are plenty of people that you could tell they're not that good because of the way they play, but they just manage to absolutely melt you because they have a DLC weapon, and a good one. And the thing that I hate about that is that these weapons don't catch a nerf, especially after the game's life cycle. I mean, sure, they'll release a weapon and to make things more interesting, always give the player something to strive for. Sure, I can understand that. But at the same time, some of these weapons are ridiculous. Like I said, the XMC is absolutely strong as hell. And the thing is, there are players out there that it just seems like there are players of a lower skill level and that even play the game less, because you can tell from their rank. You can tell by how far they leveled up, you know? And they have every single weapon, and they didn't spend a dime. So, I mean, sometimes, I mean, again, I could be wrong, and I probably am, but sometimes I just feel like there's like an algorithm or something like that basically, you know, makes you like for instance, I got both the shotguns, I got the sniper rifle, and then the two I think they're SMGs. Yeah, the two SMGs that I got, I do not want. One of them is that needle gun that just doesn't shoot straight. I forgot what it's called at the moment. And the other one is the one to where when you pull down the trigger, there's a slight little delay before it finally fires, which absolutely sucks, because as soon as I pull the trigger, as soon as I squeeze the trigger, I want my gun to shoot, but I gotta wait a split second. And if you get into a fair gunfight and then there's a delay, it's like all of a sudden you don't have quick draw, but they got quick draw and all that good stuff. So it's worse than that, actually, in my opinion, for the way it feels. So it is what it is, but yeah, it just and like I said, these weapons won't catch a nerf, not after the game's life cycle, and at the same time it would make their value go down. And after the game's life cycle, it's just not about balance anymore. It's just about, let's just put something in there to keep them playing, and then you know, maybe we'll make something out of it, and there you go. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, when I started playing this game again, or excuse me, when I started playing Black Ops 3 again, yesterday, I was quickly reminded why I loved it, and at the same time why I hate it. And again, another one is like Nuketown. Unless it's team deathmatch, I probably refuse to play Nuketown now. I refuse to play Nuketown on free for all now because everybody's got a DLC weapon, and on top of that, it doesn't take much for people to get close enough to you with a breachy and just absolutely spam it. And you don't have to be that accurate either with it. I mean, I've used it myself. I haven't used it that much because I just don't enjoy using something like that. But I've used it myself, and and I see how these players with barely any skill level are able to melt you. So hopefully for the next Call of Duty game that Treyarch makes coming out next year, hopefully they address this, because it's just too OP in my opinion. A little ridiculous, the striker was bad enough in Modern Warfare 3, but even people will argue even that gun was reasonably balanced. So I could see that, but the breachy absolutely shits on the striker from Modern Warfare 3. If you want to count, distance and how you can spam it and the rate of fire and all that kind of stuff, the breachy just absolutely craps on it. So, but yeah, I read an interesting article, so that makes it pretty interesting. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description below. So I guess EA is being investigated, or Star Wars Battlefront 2 is being investigated over, loot boxes or whatnot. And I'm glad I didn't get the game, because I just had a feeling after the beta, and on top of that, the way the game played and everything. So, but yeah. So what's your opinion, guys? What's your opinion? And is my train of thought going in the right direction, or am I just overthinking everything because I just happen to be me? Let me know. And by the way, streams will resume sometime next week. So I figured I'd let you guys know because some of you have been asking about that. So there you have it. So sometime next week, streams will resume for Black Ops 2, and that'll be it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.